Welcome to Midday. Your news at noon starts now.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Breaking news this afternoon in Lowndes County. There wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom as a man charged with capital murder learns his fate. Judge Jim Kitchen sentenced Joshua Taylor to prison for the rest of his life without the possibility of parole. Let's join WCBI's Jory Talley, who's live at the Lowndes County Courthouse with more on today's sentencing. Jory.
Renee, it was a very emotional courtroom this morning. William Stallings' mother faced her son's killer and told him that she forgave him. Josie Porter also told Judge Jim Kitchens that she did not want to see Taylor seek the death penalty. It was a very emotional day, and the decision for having her to not want Taylor to seek the death penalty, she said that she wanted him not to because she wanted him to have a chance to turn his life around. Taylor faced Porter sobbing as he told her how sorry he was about what happened to her son. After hearing from both Taylor and Porter, Judge Jim Kitchens sentenced Taylor to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Again, it was a very emotional scene with a lot of tears from both families. Judge Jim Kitchens ordered that Taylor be immediately sent to the Mississippi Department of Corrections as he left the courtroom in handcuffs. Tonight on WCBI, join us to hear what District Attorney Scott Colon, Taylor's attorney, and William Stallings' mother has to say about today's sentencing. But for now, Jory Talley, WCBI News, back to the studio.
Definitely looking forward to that report, Jory. Thank you. A man confesses to a ruthless killing during a home invasion and gets life in prison. Yesterday, Ventrell Bobo pled guilty to first-degree murder. District Attorney Ben Creekmore says Bobo and another man went inside the victim's home, demanded money, and then shot Kenneth Patterson Jr. The home invasion happened near Pittsboro in December 2015. Rodriguez Denton was also charged in the crime. Creekmore believes the trial will take place in the near future. Two Oxford men are jailed after police say they were found with stolen goods during a traffic stop. 28-year-old Mariko Johnson and 27-year-old Jesse Redmond are charged with burglary. Johnson also faces a charge of DUI first. On Wednesday, Oxford police were called to Old Taylor Road for a burglary. When they got there, the victim said her TV had been stolen and that other officers had the suspect stopped for an unrelated incident. The officers on scene with the burglary victim communicated with the officers conducting the traffic stop and confirmed that Johnson and Redmond had the TV in their vehicle. Johnson and Redmond's bonds were set at $10,000. Meanwhile, jobs are on the line for two Lowndes County E911 operators. Lowndes County supervisors had a special called meeting to discuss personnel issues. WCBI's Selena Schaefer was there and joins us live from the courthouse with the latest. Selena.
That's right, Renee. There was some heated discussion this morning in the Board of Supervisors meeting regarding 6 E911 operators who all called out sick on the same day. Now, as soon as the meeting took place, it went into executive session. When they came out, the board president, Harry Sanders, made a motion to terminate all 6 of the operators who called out sick. However, District 5 Supervisor Leroy Brooks said that was extreme and the motion died. Now, here's where it gets complicated. E911 operators have their own board that oversees them, the E911 Board of Commission. However, supervisors asked the Sheriff's Department to investigate whether the actions of these 6 operators was a conspiracy. The investigation revealed that there were no facts to support a conspiracy. As a result, supervisors advised the E911 Board of Commission to require that all 6 operators sign a memorandum warning them that a mass call-out would not be accepted and they could face termination. Now, as of this morning, all 6 of those had not signed it. 2 refused to do so. The board is allowing them till Monday to sign it. However, if they don't, they will be terminated. After the meeting, President Harry Sanders declined to comment. However, he was foreseeably upset by the decision that was made. Now, tonight on WCBI News 5 and 6, we're going to have a meeting with the spokesman of the Board of Commission, and he's going to give us details on the latest actions, so make sure to stay tuned to that. For now, in Columbus, Selena Schaefer, WCBI News.
Hopefully they can come to a decision soon. Selena, thank you. Time to get a look at our forecast. Here is meteorologist Alex Puckett. Alex, how's it going?
Well, showers are starting to pop across North Mississippi. This was the view from our Alpha Insurance Skycam in Tupelo just about over the past hour or so, and starting to see those showers roll through, those cumulus clouds starting to billow. Now you can see those showers in the Alpha Insurance Skycam, and on our live Doppler radar you see those showers starting to pop up. Now once you get along and south of Highway 82, we are dry, and I think for the most part we're going to stay that way. Temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s at this point in the afternoon, and we're going to top out in those mid to upper 80s this afternoon. I'll have details, get a closer look at that rain, and have details on the rain on the weekend coming up in just a few more minutes. Renee?
All right, Alex, thank you for that update. Now to a story we've been following. Elizabeth Thomas is on her way home today. The Tennessee teenager was rescued all the way in Northern California Thursday. Her alleged kidnapper is a 50-year-old former teacher from Tennessee. He's under arrest after more than 5 weeks on the run. A nationwide manhunt for Tad Cummings and Thomas led to his eventual capture and her release. Carter Evans has the latest.
After traveling some 2,500 miles over the course of 38 days, teenage student Elizabeth Thomas is safe, and her science teacher Tad Cummings is under arrest.
She will soon be on her way back home. Tad is in custody of law enforcement, facing a set of charges that could keep him behind bars for many years.
The two had been the subject of a nationwide search since March 13th, when they disappeared from Culleoka, Tennessee. 2 days later, they were seen in Walmart surveillance video some 600 miles away in Oklahoma City. Police declined to answer questions about whether Thomas left with Cummins willingly.
She's a young girl that's with a grown man. He needs to be held accountable for kidnapping this girl.
After traveling from Culleoka to Oklahoma City, they drove more than 1,800 miles to Cecilville, California. On Wednesday, a man in the area recognized Cummins' vehicle from an Amber Alert and notified local authorities. The couple was tracked to this small cabin after this man called 911.
Someone showed me a picture and I was like, that's the guy.
Sheriff's deputies arrived at the cabin Wednesday night, but they waited until 9:30 Thursday morning for Cummins to exit. He was arrested without incident. They found 2 loaded handguns inside the building.
Mr. Cummings made a spontaneous statement to me at the time that we took him down that I'm glad this is over.
Investigators say Thomas's reaction was more emotional as she came out of the cabin during Cummins' arrest.
It was a very traumatic experience for her. The two obviously have a relationship, and her response to us kind of escalated up and down.
On midday, the cost for a degree is about to go up once again in the state of Mississippi. Local students weigh in after the break. Welcome back to Midday. College is expensive nowadays, and to make matters worse, the price tag for an education is expected to go up. The State College Board has approved additional tuition increases at Mississippi's 8 public universities. WCBI's Jory Talley spoke with students and staff at Mississippi State about the boost in costs.
It's a story Mississippi's public universities have heard from lawmakers for years. Do more with less. Mississippi State University Communications Chief Officer Sid Salter says that budget trick is now part of the university's DNA.
The tuition increase is part of the current budget reality in state government. It affects higher education as it affects every other state agency.
While prices may change, Salter says the university's mission remains the same.
Any increase in tuition is significant for those students and their families, and we realize that. But the fact of the matter, the current budget realities dictate that in order that we maintain the level of quality in our academic programs, we've got to have the resources to operate.
The nearly 7% spike for MSU means students will pay about $8,200 a year.
If you go back to 2012, 2013, most of the universities that we compete with regionally and in surrounding states already had tuition higher than Mississippi State's tuition will be next year.
Students realize universities are not receiving as much money. However, it doesn't help their financial struggles.
It's already high enough, so I feel like I know everything has to be paid and I know everything has to be provided for, but there has to be a limit for that.
I know a lot of people are already struggling to pay the money that they do for college, and even though I'm graduating in December, it's still an extra semester, an extra 6 months that I'm having to pay more money, so it will be tough.
Many students rely on financial help, but even some state aid money will not be available next year. Now, students are having to find a way to sign in at class and punch a time clock.
I already have 3 full-time jobs. I am a full-time student, and I have another year left, and I'll probably have to take on a 4th.
Wow. Well, students say MSU's Office of Student Financial Aid helps them explain their tuition bills and how to pay them. Well, faculty, staff, and parents in Oktibbeha County got a chance to meet the new man in charge of their schools. The Starkville-Oktibbeha County Consolidated School District introduced Dr. Eddie Peasant to the community Thursday. Peasant is currently an assistant superintendent in Tupelo. He also served as a principal in Clinton and Gulfport. Peasant's first day on the job will be July 1st. An organization that teaches business and life skills recognized a group of people who've put in a lot of work over a 10-week period. The class is part of the new Expectations for Women in Mississippi, or new MS program. 5 people graduated from the Success Skills course. The class is for personal and professional development. During the 10-week course, students learned about time management, goal setting, and other skills. Those who have taken the course say they see long-term results.
I, like one of the attendees today said, learned that the goal I had set was not truly what was important to me. So I learned something about myself through the class. And I still use all of the things that I learned.
The Success Skills course is held twice a year, and it's also available for men. After nearly 50 years of educating students, a Noxubee County school will be graduating its final class. Board members at Central Academy voted unanimously this week to close at the end of the school year. The private school has seen dwindling enrollment over the past few years. There are reportedly fewer than 10 students in this year's graduating class, and projections for next school year were too low to keep the doors open.
We had to come to grips with some things, and it was just very difficult, and a lot of prayer, a lot of tears. Our student enrollment is down, and you just have to have so many to stay going.
Central Academy opened in 1968. The last day of class will be Friday, May 19th.